We're going to start in hero's pose. So it will be a supported hero's pose. And pardon my lack of clothing. It's so hot up here that if I throw an extra tank on, I'll die. So you're going to start sitting back onto your heels. If that is not good on your knees, take something, a block, whatever it might be, right in between the ankles, and you'll sit onto that. And if that is still not good, just find a comfortable seat, whatever works for you. What we really want to do is have a nice tall spine. So the goal is just have this really rooted foundation, hips to heels, and then a nice lifted spine. Hands will come to the thighs, or if you're cross-legged, they'll come to the knees. And you'll take a minute, closing the eyes gently, letting the shoulders roll up to the ears and feel them drop down the back. And then start to soften in here, becoming present in your body, feeling the points that are in contact with the floor, feeling the hips root down deeply, heavily. And from that place, imagine the spine could grow and lift toward the sky. And as the body becomes neutral and you start to feel aligned, bring your attention to the skin, the muscles. Notice places that can soften a bit deeper. So pay particular attention to the space around the neck and the shoulders. See if you might be able to relax that a bit more. The space around the jawline, the corners of the eyes, and between the brows. And as your body softens and becomes still, allow yourself to tap into the breath. Starting very simply by noticing your inhale and your exhale. And then perhaps lengthening the inhale cycle by a beat, filling up just a bit more. And lengthening the exhale cycle by a beat as you empty out by one more whisper of breath. And use this time to allow the breath and the focus on the breath to clear the space of the mind after a busy day. If the mind wanders and thoughts begin to flood in, just remind yourself, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. And continuing to use every inhale as an opportunity to begin again. On your next exhale, let your chin drop down toward your chest. Feeling that nice stretch over the back of your neck. Perhaps roll the shoulders up to the ears here if that feels okay. And then roll them down the back, feeling the shoulder blades descend deeper. Take the hands behind your back, interlacing your fingers. Knuckles will draw down and back, chest will lift toward that dropped chin. Gentle stretch over the chest, deep breath in. Full breath out. Leveling the head over the shoulders will open the eyes, rising up onto knees, lift the arms up. You'll interlace your hands overhead and press the palms upward, so you're spinning those palms up. And then reach up and over toward your right side, sending that left hip over to the left, and just feeling the breath come up over the side of the waist and over the ribs. Inhaling to rise through center, and exhaling, drop over to your left as the hip presses right. Good. Inhaling, you'll come to center. You're going to curl the toes under. Hands will come to your imaginary back pockets. You'll sit right back onto your heels. Draw your upper arm bones toward one another. Lift and open the chest. So you're finding this deep arch in the spine, and you're feeling opening across the feet and the arches. Slowly you'll release up off of the feet. Take the hands through center chest, press the palms together. So you have this active press here, feeling the space where the arm and the chest meet, pressing and activating, keeping the toes curled under. You're going to exhale, drop down. Inhale, send the arms up, send the hips up. Exhale, drop down, push the hands together, keeping those toes curled. Inhale, rise. Exhale, drop. Good. Inhale, rise. Exhale, drop. Hold here. Push the hands together. Drop the chin to the chest. Interlace your fingers. Press the palms out and up. And then release the hands by your side. You're going to take your left foot right into the arch of the right foot. So top of left foot into arch of right. So you'll feel the bone of the top of the foot set into the fleshy part of the arch. And then you'll sit back. Now, this is not, it's different in every single body, so you may need to find the point where, oh, there it is, where you feel just this side of pain, and you sit back into it, and then wiggle the foot around a little bit. So we're giving a little bit of acupressure to the arches. This is a time of year where we're barefoot a lot. We might be in flip-flops that are not supportive a lot, so it's good to give the arches a little bit of love. From here, you're going to take the hands right to the floor. Bend the knees, taking the heels up toward your glutes, and then circle your feet out. Just kind of release those ankles. Now you'll switch feet, right foot into left arch, sitting back until you find that place. For me, I always have to readjust this side. Find that place where, you feel a little bit of acupressure into the arch of the foot. One more breath here. And then again, hands down to the earth, heels high, circle out your feet. Relaxing the toes down, just tap the toes to the earth. And step back with your right foot, toes tucked, press back through your heel. You'll feel the top of the calf, so the gastroc, so that's the top part of your calf, the muscle of the top part of the calf. Keeping those left toes curled under, just lift up off of that knee and press back as you stretch the Achilles down through the heel. Good. Release the left knee down. Release the right knee down. Find a simple cat-cow here. Lengthen. And then release, round. Keeping right toes curled under, tap back with your left foot, tuck your toes, and push through the heel. Lifting up off of that right knee, lift your hips slightly, feeling the Achilles start to stretch. Good, release right knee, release left knee. Simple cat-cow here. Now back to neutral spine. You'll curl both toes, you'll lift your hips up, find your first down dog, and pedal it out here, dropping one heel, dropping the next. And then find both heels descending to the earth. You'll rise up to the balls of the feet, bend the knees deeply, sending the low ribs toward the thighs. And then start to descend those heels and feel that stretch the spine even more and get deeper into the hamstrings.
Let's take the right foot into the center of the mat. You'll take your left foot, hooking the big toe and second toe around the back of your heel and lifting those hips even higher. So if you're gonna get quite the view here, but I'll just turn around so you can see what I'm doing with my foot. Kind of hook around the back of the heel, and you'll feel that come from the insertion point of the glute all the way down to the Achilles. Now switch legs. So you'll step left foot to center, hook right big toe and second toe, pulling down, lifting hips up. Good. Slowly release both feet, taking your gaze forward toward your thumbs and walk up to meet your hands. From here, tent your fingers on either side of your feet. Knees can bend to get you there. You're gonna lift the balls of the feet, lift the soles of the feet, and then lower. Again, knees can be bent, rise up to the balls of the feet. Drop the heels, lift the soles and the balls. Drop the balls of the feet, lift the heels. So it's just this rocking motion back and forth. And then slowly release the feet all the way to the earth and rise all the way to stand. Taking the hands through center chest, press the palms together as we did when we were standing on those heels, or knees, excuse me. You're gonna rise to the balls of the feet once again and drop back to the heels. Just this time, just lift the toes. Rise up to the balls of the feet, lifting the heels. Drop back, simply lift the toes. One more time, rise up. Good, drop back. On an inhale, reach the arms up. You're gonna reach for your left wrist with your right hand and come up and over to the right side. Leaning into that left foot, tap your big toe on the right out to the side. Now from here, perhaps we lift up, sending all of the weight into that left foot, keeping the right foot flexed and lifted if possible. Slowly release down. Sweep the arms down, and then inhale, sweep up, grab hold of right wrist, come up and over to your left side. Tapping the left big toe out to the side, you'll lift up. Flexing that foot. A lot of weight into your standing right leg, excuse me. And then release, let the hands drop down. On an inhale, sweep the arms up and fold it forward. Lengthening up here, halfway lift, tent your fingers to your shins. Plant your hands, step it back, plank pose. In your plank pose, pedaling your knees here, drop left knee, extend, drop right knee, extend. Left, extend, right, extend. One more time each side. And then both knees will drop. Keep your heels, your toes tucked, push your hips to your heels. So it's a little modified child's pose that gets a bit deeper into the feet. Slowly lift, finding hands and knees and sending those hips high for downward facing dog. Step your left foot to center as you inhale the right leg high. Bend your knee, peel the hip open, and start to circle your ankle out. Just find ankle circles here. And you will slowly take your right knee now under the body, step it towards your right thumb, and drop your back heel down. So coming up into Warrior One stance, we'll sweep the arms up. Good. Bend into that front knee. Press actively back through the outside edge of your left foot and pull your right hip back just a little bit. So as you press back through the left foot, imagine that you're pressing through the outer back edge of your heel and feel how that stretches through the back part of the leg. Now slowly release your hands down behind your back, interlacing your fingers. Draw the knuckles down, lift the chest up. You'll fold forward, finding humbled warrior, either dropping the chest to the thigh or reaching down inside that knee. Slowly root into your feet, rise up. Lift the arms. Stay in your warrior one and just lift your toes on that front foot. That's going to activate the arch. You'll feel the arch kind of suction cup up away from the floor. Holding here for 3, for 2, and on 1, frame your foot, step back, find plank pose. This time, both knees tap to the floor, and then extend. You bend and extend. 2 more times, bend, extend back. Last time, bend, extend back, drop your knees, keep your toes tucked, press back to that modified child's pose. Slowly come up, tabletop pose, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Stepping the right foot into center, lift the left leg as you bend the knee, peel the hip open, and circle out your ankle. Maybe a few times in each direction. Closing the hips off, you'll step your left toes to your left thumb, root down into the right heel and rise up. Bending deeply into that front knee, find your warrior one. And again, feel active pressure through the outside edge of that back foot. Don't forget to breathe here. Let your arms release down behind you. Knuckles draw down and back, chest lifts. Fold it forward, humbled warrior. Slowly rooting into the feet, we rise up. Sweep your arms overhead, drop deeper into your warrior, and just lift your left toes. So you'll feel that left arch kind of suction cup up off the floor. Go ahead, frame your foot, step it back, plank pose. This time you're going to drop your knees down. You're going to send your hips back, extending back into extended child's pose. And then lengthen forward, send your shoulders over your wrists, drop your chin, your chest, and then your hips to the floor. Crocodile pose as you lift up. Now find cobra. Good. Curl your toes up and back, downward facing dog. Step your left foot to center, inhale your right leg up. Again, bend your knee, peel the hip open. Actively circle that ankle. You'll step your right toes to your right thumb. Coming up this time, crescent lunge, back heel is lifted. Sweep your arms up. If it feels okay on balance, you're going to lift your right toes up off the floor, but they don't have to be lifted. That's totally fine, your choice. We're going to stay here, drop deeper into that front knee, press deeper back through your left heel. Open up the arms, press the elbows back, open across the chest. Feel strong in your foundation through the foot. And then again, frame your foot. This time, tent your fingers. You're going to rock forward to the tips of the left toes. Press back like you want to press the heel to the floor. Forward to tips of toes. Back like you want to step on that floor. Last time, forward to tips of toes. And back. You're going to stay here, pressing actively back through that left heel. Plant your left hand on the floor. Reach up. Open across the chest, twist through the waist. And then slowly frame that right foot, step it back, plank pose. Again, knees drop down. Shift your hips back, curled toe, child's pose. Lengthen up, send your chest and shoulders forward of wrists. Knees, chest, and chin. And then lengthen up, cobra pose. Finding your way back to downward facing dog. Let that right foot step to center as you lift your left leg, bending the knee, peeling the hip open, and circling out here. Send your left toes to your left thumb, crescent lunge, back heel is lifted. Find solid foundation in the feet, perhaps lift those toes up. And just deepen into your lunge here. From here, we're going to frame the foot. Tent your fingers. Rock forward to the tips of the right toes. Rock back, press through that heel. Rock forward, rock back. Now forward, and then press actively back. You're pressing forward through left shin, back through right heel. Right hand drops, twist open through left arm. And send that hand down. Step it back, plank pose, knees drop. Again, shift back, curled toe child pose. Shift forward, knees, chest, chin to the floor, hips to the floor, chest rises, cobra, downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg will lift. Again, bend the knee, peel the hip open. This time, circle the entire hip out. So make circles. Imagine you're drawing with your knee on the wall to the right of you. And then come back as the hip opens. Let it close off. Step it up, crescent lunge. Sweeping the arms. We're just using crescent as a transition here. And we're going to drop that back heel as we open to your warrior two. So in your warrior two, you're going to lift up to the ball of the foot as you drop deeper into the hips. Good. Now from here, reverse your warrior, keeping that heel lifted only if it feels okay in the body. And then as you exhale, drop elbow to knee. Inhale, rise and reach back. Exhale, drop into that knee. Now last time, you're going to reach back, drop your heel, straighten your knee, reverse the triangle here. And then send your upper body forward, nice long side waist, as you come down for triangle pose. Taking the top arm up. From here, root into all four corners of your front foot, the right foot, and lift just the toes up. Feel how that lifts the center of your arch up. Slowly circle the hands down. You're going to turn sideways now, so your body's facing the left, and your hands are either to the floor or to your legs. You're going to roll to the balls of the feet, bend the knees, send the heels down, lengthen the legs. Roll to the balls of the feet, bend the knees, send the heels down, lengthen the legs. One more time, roll to the balls of the feet, and then drop those heels. Walk your hands over to your right leg, pulling down over the right leg, feeling that stretch across the side of your waist and the backs of the legs. It really is hot yoga up here. Come back through center, take that stretch over to your left side. And come right back through center. You're going to circle the hands around to that right foot and drop down into a lunge, left knee dropping to the floor. You have your fingertips tented on either side of your right leg. Lift the right toes right up off of the floor. Feel how that arch starts to lift with you. Now start to lengthen your right leg back into a half split and keep that foot flexed actively. With your hands to either hips, blocks, or the floor, you're going to point your toes and then flex your foot back. Point your toes, flex your foot back. One more time, point your toes. Stay pointed. Almost imagine you want to reach your big toe to touch the floor.
and then slowly cramp in the toe. Slowly you're gonna flex the foot back. Take your right hand, reach the ball of the hand around the toes and pull actively back. Feel that stretch, the arch of the foot. I mean, you're also gonna feel your hamstring, but we're adding a little spice. Slowly draw back, hands to the earth, right knee in line with right hip. Coming to tabletop as you find a cat-cow. And close your eyes in your cat-cow. Take a minute and notice the difference you feel between the two sides of your body. Find your neutral spine, curling your toes, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, take your left leg high, bending the knee, peeling the hip open. This time again, circle entire knee. Sending that hip open, and then close it off as you step up, left toes, left thumb, crescent lunge, back heel high. Sweep those arms up, using crescent as a transition as we now come into your warrior two. Good. In your warrior two, lift up off of that heel, dropping the hips a little bit deeper. Reverse your warrior on an inhale. Take your elbow to your knee, exhale, side angle. Good, inhale, rise, reach. Exhale, side angle. Last time, you'll rise back, lift that leg, straighten the leg and drop the heel. Take the length with you and reach forward as far as the body will allow, taking the hand down for triangle. Top arm rises up. My phone just rang. Hands are gonna come out in front of you. You're gonna lift up to the balls of both feet and drop your hips a little bit lower. Pulse here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Drop just your left heel. Pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your right heel, lift left. Pulse 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alternate sides. You go right and left for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Don't worry. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, sweet Lord, 16, hands to knees, fold it forward, twist to your right as you drop that left shoulder in. Come through center, twist to your left as you drop the right shoulder in. Beautiful, come through center, draw those toes in, heels out, fold it forward, hang in this wide-legged ragdoll, opposite elbow to opposite hand. And then slowly walk the hands to the earth, send those knees down, finding your tabletop pose. Find a cat-cow here, belly dropping, chest lengthening, rounding your spine out. Drop your hips back to your heels, reconnect into child's pose, find your breath. This time, tops of feet can be to the earth, toes can be released. You're gonna rise up to your tabletop pose, almost down to the floor for good, but first we're gonna curl your toes and lift your hips. Sending yourself into down dog. You'll take that left foot up, step it
through and drop into your right knee as we find that low lunge series. Tent your fingertips. From here, lengthen back. So again, hands to floor or hips. We're going to work with pointing and flexing. So you'll point the toes down to the floor, flex the toes back towards your face. Point down, flex back. Last time, point down so much so that you almost want to touch the floor with that big toe. If you're anything like me, your toes might cramp up right now. And then you will slowly flex all the way back. Grab hold of just the toes, right where the toes meet the balls of the feet with the heel of the hand, and you're going to pull back. Feel how that activates the arch. Slowly release, walking back into your lunge, and send your left knee back in line with your right knee. We're going to come back to where we started, this time toes curled under in our hero's pose as we take toes pose once again. Now for me, my pinky toe does not like to curl under, so I have to give it a little bit of help. My hands are going to rest down on my thighs. Simply breathing here for one more full breath cycle. And then releasing into your tabletop, keep the toes curled, lift your hips, find your downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift your right leg high. On an exhale, step it through, find warrior one. But you're going to shorten your warrior one stance. So once you come to standing, step your left foot in just a bit. I'm going to take this one sideways so you can see what happens in my back leg. We're going to bend into the front knee with the toes lifted up off of the floor. And then you're going to bend your back knee, but keep your heel rooted to the floor. And that is going to go all the way down into the soleus, which is the lower part of your calf, and into your Achilles. You may also feel it in the front part of your shin, the shin splint muscle. From here, straighten both legs out. Fold over the straight front leg. Bend your back leg as the heel lifts up off of the floor. So back knee bends, and then you're going to send the sole of your right foot up. Balance may not be your friend here, in which case you can either reach for the floor or whatever is near you, wall, furniture. This is flamingo pose. And you're going to release that heel down, step your left foot to meet your right foot, about hip width distance apart. So if you were to take two fists between your big toes, you're about hip width. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sit your hips low. With your hips low, hands come to center chest, pressing as we did at the beginning. Roll to the balls of the feet. Rock back to your heels. Roll to the balls of the feet. Rock back. So you're just lifting toes, not the full, obviously, soles of the feet. Lift the heels. Lift your toes. And then fold it forward. Find a ragdoll here. Good. Lengthen here, halfway lift. Plant those hands, step it back, plank pose. Right from plank, transition to your down dog. Notice your feet here in down dog. Maybe your feet feel like they have a little bit more circulation going on than normal. Maybe they don't, but just notice them. And then start to lift your left leg up. Send it through for warrior one, and once you come to stand, shorten your stance by drawing that right leg in a bit. We're going to start with the front knee bent. Lift just the toes on the front leg, and then I have to shorten my stance even more here. And then you're going to bend that back knee. So you can even turn the toes of that back leg in a bit. You bend, and then you kind of sit the hips back, pressing that heel into the floor. Feel the lower part of that calf muscle. Right from the kind of that indentation, that calf that we're all used to seeing, all the way down into the Achilles.
Good, straighten both legs out, fold over the straight front leg. And this is where balance can be challenging. You're going to lift your back heel, bend the knee as the hips drop. Sole of front foot can stay where it is. If you want to challenge the balance, lift, hey, lift to the heel. And then slowly, sole of the foot drops. Right leg comes to meet left leg as you stand. We're going to do one more chair pose as we rock on the balls of the feet. Lift up and sit low. This time, keep the hands where they are overhead. Roll to the balls of the feet. Rock back to the heels. Good. Roll to the balls of the feet. Rock back to the heels. Last time, balls of feet. Back to heels. Sweep up. Hands down through center chest. Turn your toes out, your heels in. You're going to step so that the arches of your feet are toward the edges of your mat. Lift the arms up on a breath in. Take the hands down through center chest as you come into Malasana. Now here, depending on how open we are through the Achilles, you may be able to drop all the way down, or you might find that your heels are more comfortable lifted. We're here for 3 breaths. And slowly tense your fingers. Turn your heels out, toes in. Again, hang in a wide-legged ragdoll. Take the hands to the earth, drop the knees to the earth, and come back to child's pose. Reconnect here. And slowly come back through center. You're going to come right up onto the into tabletop pose. Step back with your right toes. Lift up to hip height and send that leg wide so it comes outside of your right pinky finger. Hands are to floor or block. Send the chest tall and open as you lengthen forward. Now flex the toes right up off of the floor and then peel to the pinky toe edge of the foot. So there's a reason that I always cue that, and it's because it keeps the line of the ankle and knee safe. But now that we've been working with the foot so much, you might actually feel it a bit deeper. Curl your left toes under, push back through the heel as the knee lifts up, and circle out. Drop that left knee down. Bring the right foot back. Send your left leg long behind you. Taking that foot wide, take it outside of your left pinky finger. Lift the toes right up off of the floor and then peel to the pinky toe edge of the foot. Curl those right toes under, pressing through your heel. Lift up and circle out. Release that knee down and come back to tabletop. Now in your tabletop pose, you're going to walk your hands back so you're standing on your knees like we did to start. Toes will remain curled under. Hands will come to the imaginary back pockets. Lift the shoulders up and then start to roll them down the back as upper arms come closer to one another, and then begin to take a little back bend here. Body should be nice and warm, should feel a little more open than it did before. And slowly release. We'll come to a seated position with legs extended in front of you. So we're going to work a little bit with what's happening in the ankle and the foot. So a dorsi and plantar flexion. Start by walking your upper thigh bones back as if you want to plug the bones right into the hip sockets. From there, stack shoulders, ribs, and hips. Flex your feet. Squeeze your upper thighs so much that maybe your heels float right up off of the floor. And then relax that. Draw your heels back toward the backs of your knees as the toes point. And then slowly again, flex the foot, maybe lifting those heels up, and then point the foot. One more time, we're gonna flex. Now from that flex, relax the strength in the quads, keep the toes flexed, and reach either with a strap or a towel. So I have my towel here, I'm just gonna loop it around the balls of the feet, just to demonstrate. It extends my reach. As you reach, push out through your heels, send your chest forward, and flex those feet actively. If you can grab hold of the feet, do what we did in that half split, where you grab with the heels of the hands, right where the ball of the foot and the toes meet, and pull those toes back towards your ankle. Slowly you'll release. You're gonna send your left foot in and actually reach, this is kind of a weird one, but if you have, if you've ever had a pedicure, ladies, and they do the little toe separators, that's what we're doing here. So you're gonna weave, I hope you cleaned your feet before practice, you're gonna weave your fingers in between your toes like you're shaking hands with your foot. Doing a little toe yoga today. And once you get there, grab hold of your shin and just shake the foot out. So you're kind of pulling outward and downward through those, you're just shaking the ankle out. Now circle your ankle out. And then pull, release the hand, pull the toes in towards your body, flexing the entire ankle, pointing the entire ankle, excuse me, and then release it out. We'll do the same thing other side. Extend the left leg, bring the right leg in, and then you'll weave those fingers in between your toes. Thank God we're in a pandemic and we're all washing our hands so frequently, right? Once you get, my toes have separation anxiety, so once you get there, you're gonna hold the foot and then just kind of, you're shaking the toes out. It's not super comfortable. And then you're gonna just flex back, circle the ankle out, release the grip, take the front of the foot and really point the ankle. And release. From there, we are gonna lie back onto our backs. If you have a strap or a towel, I would recommend using it at this point, only because we're gonna work again with the ankle and the foot. So here, you're gonna send your right leg high and you're gonna loop either a belt or a towel around the arch of the foot. Oftentimes here we work with the hamstring, we will eventually, but not right this second. So you're gonna point the foot and then flex the toes back. So watch the ankle. The ankle points, but the toes flex back. So now you're in Barbie foot or a floint, a flex and a point at the same time. You're gonna feel the calf probably tighten up a bit. Just activate there, walk your left heel in, push into your left heel, lift your hips up. And then send your right heel onto your left thigh. And slowly release down. Send the right leg up again, find that floint, and then draw in towards your big toe side and out towards your pinky toe side. Big toe, pinky toe. One more time, big toe, pinky toe. Release the foot to the floor. Notice the difference between the feet. Send the left foot up, flex through the toes, point through the ankle, find that floint. Walk your right heel in, press through the heel, lift up, keep flointing that left foot, and then take your heel to the quad. I think the heat has melted my brain. Slowly release the hips down. Send the left leg up again. Draw in toward big toe side, out toward pinky toe side. Big toe, pinky toe. Last time, big toe, pinky toe. Both legs come up. You're going to reach with your peace fingers between the big toe and the second toe and draw the knees down and out into happy baby. Keeping the feet flexed like you're making a footprint on the ceiling above you. So my recommendation tonight, like while you're watching TV, roll a paper towel and thread it between your toes and sit there for an hour. It's actually really healthy for your feet. And slowly you're going to release that down. Take the soles of both feet to the earth. From here, hands rest beside you, palms are face up. You're going to press into both heels and lift up into bridge pose. In your bridge pose, walk your right foot in until you're on the ball of the foot with the heel lifted, and lift your left leg up. 2 more breaths here. Release the left leg down close enough again to the glute that your heel is lifted, and then lift your right leg up. Release down. Walk your feet out so your hips can relax to the floor. Send your right ankle over your left knee. Let the arms come out wide and drop your knees over to the right side. Good, lifting through center. Sending the sole of the right foot down, take the left ankle over right knee, and drop over to the left side. Final twist. Coming right back through center, draw both knees into your chest. Just hug the knees in tightly. And then release the hands from the shins and send the legs up. So if you wish, you can find legs up the wall where you actually rest your heels against a wall and you can hang out there for Shavasana, or you can just let the legs float for a few breaths. And eventually we all release into our variation of Shavasana. Whatever that looks like. Legs can remain up the wall. Legs can release long down the mat. But find the position where you can be still and where you can allow the body to fully surrender. Feel the back of your body through the backs of the legs and the arms, through the hips and the shoulders. Feel everything become heavy. Feel the front of the body become light. And imagine that as you breathe in, there's a white light washing over the body. It comes from the center of the belly and releases to tips of toes, to tips of fingers, over crown of head. And as you breathe out, you imagine all of that light drawing down through center belly and out into the earth, taking with it anything that no longer serves you, and coming back through the inhale as pure white light. Nothing in the way, nothing sticking or blocking it, but every exhale, one more piece of tension releases downward and outward through the back body into the earth. So that every inhale is just this beautiful blanket of light that spreads over the body. And as we did at the beginning, if the mind wanders,
You gently guide it back to that image of light expanding and then releasing until your mind becomes still and quiet and your breath becomes soft and rhythmic. Slowly begin to bring your attention back to your physical body. Simply reminding yourself to breathe deeply. And as you feel the breath work through the body, allow it to bring movement into fingers and toes, perhaps into ankles and wrists. Finding any final stretches that feel right tonight. And gently stretching, rolling onto one side before pressing up to find your comfortable seat.
allowing your eyes to remain closed, and take a final moment fully present to recognize and reflect on any changes you might feel physically or energetically. I'm closing class with a simple reflection. This reflection is called "Let the Miracle of Acceptance Find You." We may search for miracles that change our situation so we don't have to deal with loss or feel pain. Sometimes we get that miracle. Our circumstances change. But sometimes the miracles we get change us. If the situation is too difficult, the loss too painful to accept in one leap, take smaller steps. Accept what you're feeling today. Accept who you are today. Accept what you think today. Look for your miracles. Hope for the best, but when you can't change what you're going through, let the simple, quiet, daily miracle of acceptance find you. So as we go through each day wondering what the future will bring, we try very hard to find our moments of presence and acceptance. And I'm so thankful to have you all on the mat, finding presence. With that, I invite you to draw the arms up overhead as you breathe in. Draw the palms to center chest as you breathe out. I'll seal our time together with a single round of Om. Inhaling. Surrendering the head to the heart as you swallow in the back of your throat. Raising your thumb knuckles to center forehead. All that is light and love in me honors and shines to all that is light and love in each of you. Thank you for practicing. Namaste.